Detective Clara Hayes arrived at the alley just past midnight, the sharp sting of winter air biting at her cheeks. Yellow crime scene tape fluttered in the wind, catching the weak glow of a flickering street lamp. Broken pavement reflected the dim light, uneven stones casting long shadows over jagged lines of crimson. It wasn't a murder, thankfully, but had all the hallmarks of a scene gone terribly wrong. A trail of blood led toward a dumpster, pooling around a discarded backpack. Clara crouched near the first smear, gloves snapping as she ran her fingers along the jagged edge of the pavement. Each drop of blood told a story. Panic, she thought. Desperation. A sprint, a stumble, a fight for safety. Nothing fatal, but terrifyingly close. Her partner, Detective Leon Ortiz, joined her, his coat flapping in the wind. He surveyed the alley, eyes narrowing. No witnesses, no security cams nearby. Whoever this is, they wanted to disappear fast. A night janitor, the first to call it in, hovered behind the tape, his mop in hand. "I thought someone got hit by a car," he muttered, voice trembling. But there was no body, just blood. Lots of it. Clara nodded, brushing back her hair. "We're going to find them. And whoever left this trail is going to regret it." The trail led to the dumpster, where a young woman crouched, shivering, pressing a cut on her forearm. Her eyes were wide, frightened, but a flicker of relief crossed her face when she saw the detectives. "Ma'am, it's safe now," Clara said gently, kneeling to meet her gaze. "Can you tell us what happened?" I was being followed," the woman stammered. "I left the bar, and someone was watching me. I ran, but I tripped. My arm." She trailed off, trembling as she recalled the terror of the chase. As the EMTs tended to her wound, Clara inspected the backpack. Receipts scattered across the bottom, a cracked smartphone, and a wallet with identification. Her eyes caught the phone screen, messages flashing in stark clarity. "I'll be outside. Don't ignore me. We need to talk." Clara's gut tightened. Stalking. Someone who knew her routine. She tapped the phone, tracing the last GPS ping to a nearby intersection. A lead. A direction. Hours passed as they canvassed the area. Clara returned alone to the alley later, the cold biting deeper, the broken pavement telling its silent story. Faint scuff marks, tiny droplets of blood, the lingering smell of fear. She imagined the woman's frantic sprint, stumbling over uneven stones, leaving traces of herself behind. A trail anyone could follow if they knew what to look for. Back at the precinct, Clara and Ortiz pieced together the puzzle. The victim, identified as Rachel Moore, a 26-year-old office assistant, had been receiving persistent messages for weeks. The sender, an ex-colleague with a history of harassment, had escalated from text to physically following her at night. Surveillance footage from a nearby 24-hour convenience store confirmed the man's presence. He lingered across the street, watching her, almost daring her to notice. The detectives worked quickly. By morning, a warrant was secured, and they located the suspect returning to the scene of the crime. He was unaware they were watching, oblivious to the fact that the broken pavement, the scattered blood, and the discarded backpack had left a trail that led straight to him. He was taken into custody without incident. Stalking, harassment, breaking, and entering, Ortiz muttered, reviewing the charges. "He's lucky she didn't get hurt worse." Clara nodded, thinking about how close it had come to something far more tragic. The broken pavement had been the silent witness to terror. Every drop of blood a cry for help. She returned to the alley after the suspect was in custody. Morning sunlight spilled across the cracked stones. No blood, no fear lingering in the air. The only evidence left was memory, etched in the broken pavement. Weeks later, Clara revisited Rachel's apartment to ensure she was safe. Rachel had returned to her routine cautiously, but her eyes still flickered to shadows in a way Clara recognized. Fear leaves a residue even when the danger has passed. "Thank you," Rachel said quietly, handing Clara a cup of coffee. "I didn't know how I'd get out of that alley." Clara smiled faintly. "You survived. That's what matters. And we'll make sure he never threatens you again." But Clara couldn't shake the image of the alley. Broken stones glistening red, a trail leading nowhere, and everywhere at once. It was an ordinary alley, the kind people pass every day without a thought. Yet that night, it had been a crucible of fear, an unintentional witness to a crime narrowly avoided. She often thought about that trail. How small mistakes, a stumble, a dropped backpack, a cracked phone, can become the threads detectives follow to catch someone who thrives in darkness. How fragile safety is, and how vigilant one must remain. The Broken Pavement had done its part, silently documenting every frantic step. Clara returned to the precinct, exhausted but satisfied. Another life saved, another criminal off the streets. Sometimes she realized survival itself is a story. And tonight, the Broken Pavement had told a story worth remembering. Subscribe at Crime Scenes Point 1 for more jaw-dropping true crime narratives.